In Genesis code, conditions are what need to happen before actions can be performed. Right now we have a simple action that calls for the object to destroy itself. If we set the condition to start, it's going to destroy itself immediately. If we change the wait time, it's going to drastically alter when it will be destroyed. If we set it to 1, it's going to wait for 1 second before it gets destroyed. Now let's check the always condition. With always, if you set the wait time to 0, it's going to perform the action every single frame that happens. If you set it to a different value, say maybe 0.5, it's going to destroy itself or whatever action every 0.5 seconds. So it's going to do it in certain intervals. To see this in action, I'm going to set it to teleport to a random position that's nearby. Let's see. Okay. There you go. Every 0.5 seconds, it's going to teleport to a nearby position. If we lower the wait time, it's going to do it at a much rapid pace. If we set it to 0, it's going to go everywhere because it does it every frame. So that's the always condition. The trigger condition will be performed when another collider touches this object's trigger. So let's try to make a new object. And maybe we want it to fall down, so let's add a rigid body. And we've already set the cube as a trigger. If you have the condition set as trigger, you always have to do that. You always have to make sure this is checked. So we'll be colliding with a sphere, and when it does collide with a sphere, we're going to self-destruct the cube. See? Now the same thing will happen when this is an actual collision. If this is set to a collision, you have to uncheck this. There we go. And then for a controller collider, this one will be reserved for objects that have a controller collider. So basically, it only works when your object is a character, because characters always have controller colliders. But it's the same principle as pretty much the collision condition. Now if we go to the mouse condition, you can see that there are other options. We can set it to maybe destroy itself when we click the left mouse button, the right mouse button, the middle mouse button. There's many different options. And you can set how you want it to be pressed. So do you want it to destroy itself when the first time you press the button, while you're holding the button, or when you're releasing the button? And this pretty much says that will it activate when you click anywhere in the game, or only on the object itself. Now back to the hold property. When you're holding a button, that basically means you're just pressing it for a long time. When you hold the button, it acts kind of like a the always condition, where it does it every interval, every frame, or every fraction of a second interval that you specify in this property field. So, okay, let's try maybe when I press the left mouse button anywhere in the screen, I want it to destroy the cube, right? Let's just disable this right now. Okay, it destroyed the cube, and I didn't even click on the cube. But if I set it to this property, you can see that nothing's happening when I click around the cube, but when I click the cube, it destroys it. So for the keyboard, it's the same principle. Press, hold, release, and on this or on anywhere. It's the same principle as the mouse condition. Input key. If you don't know what the names of the input keys are, you can just click here. It will give you a link to a Unity documentation. And over here you see the names of the keys and how to follow their convention. So up, down, left, right. Remember, make sure you input a computer key name that doesn't have any quotation marks, capitalization, spaces, or any other unnecessary punctuations. So over in the website it says you put in up, or you put in like right with quotation marks. Oops. But over here you just type in right with no quotations. There we go. I forgot that I set the property to on this. Okay. So same thing if I do the input key and up and set it to release on any area in the game, it's going to destroy it. So that's the basics of conditions in Genesis code. There's many different properties within those conditions, like the mouse and the keyboard with the press, hold, and release, the on this or on anywhere. There are some that are very similar, like the trigger, collision, and controller colliders. They're pretty similar too. But they all follow the basis of performing the action, like destroying the object, or creating an object, or teleporting an object, only when the conditions met. So I hope that gives you a good glimpse as to how Genesis code works, and I'll be releasing more videos soon. Thanks for watching, guys.